Howdy kitties, Dr. Groovy Scott Grove here from GroovyMusicLessons.com. Got another axe in the day. I've had one of these before. I wasn't sure what to think or expect before I got my first one. And then when I had a major sale about a year and a half ago, I sold 200 or so guitars. And since then I've actually bought back the guitars that definitely I was missing. You know, that was like, God, that was just such an awesome guitar. Some of them have been the really cheap ones that, of course, are every bit as good as the very expensive ones. You know, some more so than others, and this is strictly opinion or dedicated strictly for my purposes. So I got another one again. I want to thank whoever it was. Please make yourself known. They emailed me and told me this guitar was for sale on eBay, and then I want to thank the guy who I bought it from, because he gave me an extra 50 bucks off, so I ended up getting the guitar for $150. Okay, and it's again going to be one of my favorites. 7-string, and it has become my 7-string of choice over all of the guitars. Will I modify it? Yeah, I'm going to modify it slightly. I don't know if I'll do how much I'll do actually to it, but I've played a bunch of 7-strings that I just really hate. But for my purposes, I really love these guitars. Okay, this is the Squier Stagemaster 7, and yes, Squier for you tards out there. S-Q-U-I-E-R. So whenever you put them up for sale, please remember to look at your headstock, because it's not S-Q-U-I-R-E. Even eBay has taken that little trick and screwed us out there. If you remember, I had a thing on how to find guitars on eBay if you misspell the guitar names, especially Ibanez. You know, most of the morons can't spell, so they're putting Ebenezer or whatever on there. But 90% of the people probably spell Squier S-Q-U-I-R-E. And it used to be, if you would go on eBay, you could spell it wrong, and you would get one batch of results, and if you spelled it right, you would get another batch. eBay has taken care of that, and they have started lumping in misspellings for people who aren't bright, so that finding a guitar due to misspellings of things is not as easy anymore. So they take care of the dummies, and even if you put in S-Q-U-I-R-E the wrong way, it will still show up. So it's getting harder and harder. So again, thanks to the person who, and if you can't see this, this is honestly nowhere near blue. This is 100% purple. It does not do a flip-flop thing. What makes it look blue on there? I don't know. But it is strictly purple, purple, purple. I saw the proper shade on here a second ago. But yeah, it's purple. It's not even close to blue. It is 100% purple. Got the cutaway on the heel there. Makes everything great. It's got the 2 humbuckers, which I will end up taking screws out of to make them single coils that are quiet, and leaving the other coil a dummy coil. But I will actually, I know it's going to be easier to take them out. It came shipped with no strings on it, so that'll allow me to clean it really quickly and do some little adjustments that I like to do for personal sake. You know, take off the chrome knobs and put something black on so they don't stand out looking like a couple of big zits on there. So I'll just throw black on since everything else is black. It's 24 frets. These guitars are superb. Yes, they made an actual Stratocaster version too, that has 2 single coils and a humbucker mounted into a pick guard. And if I can find one of those, you guys find one of those that's in good shape, please let me know. The guy that told me about this guitar, he goes, yeah, I wanted to let you know about it, and he was thinking about buying it, but then he finally said, you go ahead and go after it. I don't have the money to get it. So, and then again, the seller, he makes all his own wiring harnesses. So if you guys need something other than the generally inferior wiring that comes in guitars in this price range, you know, he has the nice CTS pots and the bumblebee caps and the rainbow caps and the treble bleeds, so that when you turn down your volume knob, it doesn't take all your high end away and all that. So that's what he does. Is the guy again that I bought this from. He makes all those and customizes them. So I'll give you a little link to where he has them, and you can get them on eBay as well. So I'm gonna go clean this up real quick, and I'm not gonna pull the pull pieces out yet. What I'm gonna do is just string it up and let you hear the humbuckers, which actually sound great. No need to get rid of them. And then I will come back and let you hear them as single coils after I pull screws out. Why? Because I'm a country guy. I want to twang. I don't want to shred. I don't want distortion on these guitars. I want it clean, and it's a regular scale. It's not some long baritone goofy thing that you have to get used to. It's just a great guitar, no whammy junk. Strings go through the body, which does nothing for the guitar at all. Of course, whatever the body's made out of doesn't matter at all. You can tell it has a maple neck and a rosewood fingerboard, which, of course, the material of the fretboard or the neck makes no difference at all again. What I love here is, let me get some reflection of the lighting. Come on. I can always get reflections where I want them. Anyway, right here is the rosewood. See how shiny it is? So it has this polyurethane over top of it. I would love it if they would just do the fingerboards that way, just like they do maple. Just cover the poly, like here. You know, Rickenbacker does it over top of their walnut fingerboards. But I would love that if they would do it with the rosewood. I may do it myself and just put it on there. Again, 150 bucks. Can't beat her, kids. And so I'm just going to go and do what I said I was going to do. I'll come back, let you hear it normal. And you'll see why I love these compared to all these Schecter and other things out there that I don't like. And you'll be like, well, Schecter has push-pull pots that you can go to single coil in. Thing is that their pickups they put in them are voiced for heavy metal stuff, and when you actually do the split coil thing on those things, they just really sound horrible. Where these, for some reason, sound great. Again, it's my personal preference. What else can I tell you? Let's see, I get made in China. I don't know if I told you that or not. So, who actually made it? I don't know. It's got a few little places where the purple has came off, and I will touch those up. Why? Because I have purple Sharpies. You know, I just like my stuff to look pretty. And it doesn't look like the intonation is set or has been. Everything's just straight across, so I will have to set up the guitar. And the frets look fairly good. Some divots in the cowboy cord area. And that's about it. So I'll come right on back and have a sucker strung up. I'll check it out the way it sounds through my Johnson Millennium instead of my nasty tube amp. And see what you guys think about her. I had something else I was going to tell you for sure, but I'll think of that and bring it right back to the table when I come back, okay? So catch it in 2 and 2. Okay, so the axe is all strung up. Action is set. All the harmonics are set. Not a single one was even close. Of course, I've already taught you guys how to set harmonics so you can look at the bridge, or the saddles I mean, and tell that it is properly set up. Why? Because of the position of each saddle. And if you don't know that, then go back and watch the other videos. Let's see, what else did I need to tell you? Oh yeah, I colored in all the spots where any chips were. They no longer exist. So, and got rid of those chrome knobs and just good old speed knobs on there now. In my old video of one of these, let's see, somebody had taken and probably just simply screwed up their three-way switch that comes on it. So master volume, master tone, three-way switch, that's all you get. Operates like everything. It doesn't split anything. There's no push-pull pots. There's nothing. And then of course I had some guy, oh God, just this week, he wrote in on the other Stagemaster blue one that I had of these, and he says, well, thing is, Scott, see what it actually was is it had a 5-way switch, even though I explained it on the video that somebody just simply put a 5-way in there because they didn't have an extra 3-way laying around when it was bad. But no, he's like, well, specs say that you go to position 2 and then they're go to split coil, then they're in and out of phase, and then they do this, and then position 4 pays your taxes for you. It's like, no. It's a 3-way switch and a 2 humbucking guitar. That's all it is. So that's all they are. Okay, so everything has been set. Again, everything is in humbucking, and I will, here just in a second, let's get rid of my goofy face, be taking out some of these Allen screw things, since I'm allowed to on any given coil. And the way it sounds right now, I can already tell that I'm not going to do what some people do, which is leave these first 3 in here, then leave the last 3 in here, so that simulates a cocked or slightly slanted, you know, like a Telecaster pickup is, or most Fenders. I can tell that I actually only want this coil on, and I want the neck coil on. I want this gone completely, and this gone completely. So when I take all these little screws out, these will be actually called dummy coils. They used to put these under your pick guards and just leave the coils under there, so that you have totally silent single coils. Does it sound the same as putting a switch in to split your coils? No, not at all. It's a completely different sound. Everybody's like, well, why don't you just get coil splits on your... because it is definitely a different sound, which is why. And I'm doing this because of the way I want it to sound. I want it for country music. Okay, so there's no need for me personally to want a 7-string guitar for anything other than country. Heck, even the first 7-string electric guitar that was recorded, guitar solo, God, that was way back when, but it was actually a country song, and it had distortion on it. And that was back in the 50s, oddly enough. So, groovy stuff. I'll hook you up with it if you want to hear it. But it was very simple, but very cool. Okay, so the guitar, bridge pickup, clean. Okay, believe it or not, there's no reverb in here. There's just a lot of guitars, so you're hearing a whole lot of guitars just resonating, and a bunch of acoustics in here, acoustic guitars. So. So there it is, 6-string wise. If I was to go down to the B. Okay, so middle position is, I can tell from the frequencies that no, I don't want to. I can tell, and as could all you pros out there, which screws you would want to remove if you wanted it to sound like a proper single coil. You can just tell. That I don't want to do this slanty sounding thing, because I can hear the frequencies that are going to be affected before I even have to experiment. So experimentation is out as far as me doing it. You doing it, you can take out whatever ones you want if you do such a thing and experiment, but I already know what they're going to sound like depending on which ones I pull out of here. Okay, so this is both pickups. Okay. So what I'm looking for, again, which I demonstrated on the first one, is to simply go back to the God, Johnny Cash stuff, you know, that's just, I love and am good at playing old country music. I'm talking from the 40s through the 70s. That's where I'm at. That's what I love. So, am I an amazing guitar player otherwise? No, not at all by any stretch of the imagination. Am I good for that kind of thing? Yes, of course. And I'm a good band player person. I know exactly when to lay out, when not to, when to play harmony with what parts, and unlike a lot of other people who just play solos during your solos. As you can tell from some of my live videos, that, I mean, I just love that 30-year period of time, you know, 40s through the, you know, mid-40s through the 70s. So it's just what I'm into, you know, Jim Reeves and all the way up through the, of course, Marty Robbins, and all the way up through the outlaw stuff, being Waylon and Willie and so forth, and Cash, of course. But I'm just looking again for a 7-string country axe, and this will do it. Will I put another single coil in the middle? I don't know yet. Okay, it's just going to depend on what this sounds like next time I turn this back on. So it's just going to be, okay, so you got that's what I'm looking for. Bridge, I'm sorry, neck position. Way too thick and muddy for my tastes. Again, I am single coil boy, so this is definitely going to single coils. You know, to me that is just flat out horrible. Again, the volumes are wide open. Only effect on is nothing. There are no effects on. No reverb, no anything. Again, every bit of that, you're like, that's reverb. No, that's 100 and some guitars in here all ringing at the same time. Okay, and of course, when you guys do go set up your guitars, make sure to always do so with brand new strings. What strings do I have here? What 7-string set? Elixir Polywebs, of course. Scott, they don't make 7-string Polyweb sets for guitars. Yeah, you can do them, but you can get them though. JustStrings.com. Okay, you buy your normal set of Polywebs, right? You have your normal set of 9 through 42s. But then, of course, on JustStrings.com, which is just an easy place to tell you, you just go in there. You can buy any strings you want in the Polyweb thing. So for people out there going, damn, they don't even make 11-string sets or 12-string sets. It's like, well, they do, but they don't put them together as a set. See, I put a 56 on the bottom, so that's what I wanted my low B to be. So there you go, 56 gauge Polyweb, original Polyweb. Just buy the single sets. Make up your own sets. They don't cost much. So if you want to use 11 gauge sets of 6 strings or whatever for your guitar, since they don't package them in a box, doesn't mean you can't have them. If you want 12 and 13 gauge, just buy a bunch of them singles on there. It's one of the many sites that sells single strings. And don't let stupid things fool you, like in a 7-gauge set like Billy Gibbons uses. A 9-gauge string doesn't mean it's an E string, it just means it's a 9-gauge string. Okay, so that can be a B string for Billy Gibbons. That's what his B string will be. Okay, again, he uses 7 gauge strings. So he uses a 7 on the high E and then like a 9 for the B. So just because it says 9 gauge and it came in a 9 gauge set, it just means it's a 9 gauge string. It doesn't mean that this is an E string. It's whatever you want it to be. Okay, so custom make your own sets and buy your own individual strings. And everybody keeps bitching, they don't make 7-string sets. Well, make one. Buy an extra string. Big deal. You know, I did. I've got more down here. Here's another 56. You know, waiting to go. Polyweb right there. So even though Elixir is not bright enough to give you what you want, there are ways around it. So there you go. And let's see. I know, was there something else? If there is, I'll tell you on the next little part. So here it is with plain distortion, and again, no other effects. So I'm going to the bridge pickup, as everybody so there you go. If you want some reverb. So I'm going to go away and remove some screws real quick, come back, let you guys hear it with single coils and dummy coils. Again, this is not splitting the pickup. That's a whole different concept and a whole different batch of results. So do I want to put a push-pull here to split them? No, I don't want the sound of a split pickup. I want the sound of a completely silent dummy coil arrangement. So that's what I'm going to get. Again, split coils and coil taps are totally different things. And again, what I'm getting ready to do is a totally different thing than both. So this is the only way to get both, is to actually, in real time, actually create a dummy coil, which just means getting rid of the goddamn pole pieces. Okay, so, and again, I polished all the frets. They needed them, had some rust on them. I watered the fingerboard and cleaned it nice. And of course no oil on there because it doesn't need to be at all forever for the rest of its entire life, and never should be. And again, aesthetically, everything is beautiful. It plays great. I had to put the Deox at 5 and the everything that needed it. Volume, tone, and 3-way switch, so there's no more noises from the electronics. Everything's perfect now. And so I'll just go unscrew some of these, come back and give you some single coil tones and that kind of thing, and then we'll call it a day. Okay, talk to you in a sec. Okay, folks, there you go. Doesn't look horrible. So there's all the pole pieces I took out. So 12 of those, 6 and 6. People are like, is that process reversible, and how come a little bit of wax comes up with them and stuff? It's like, well, your pickups are potted, you know, so that's to get rid of the noise. It's very easy to take care of this. I've done it 100 times now doing this kind of thing. You put the your screws back in, tighten them all the way down. Simply take your pickup back out if you're having any experience with any noise, from not quite being potted as well because there's a little break in the wax. Then you simply run a lighter over the back of your flipping pickup there, and it cures it in about 3 seconds per pickup. Okay, it's just that easy. Okay, so the guitar sounds like I want it to now. It sounds like single coil pickups. Why? Because they are. If you get a look again, see, I've removed all the pull pieces here, all the pull pieces here. The amp is up. Those are single coils, these are dummy coils. So it is silent as a humbucker, and sounds way different again than the split options, the coil splitting. And just to remind you guys, this is a 2000 version. They made 4 versions of these Stagemasters. This is the second version. The first version had 22 frets instead of 24, and you know, all kinds of pickup variations, combinations, and even a Floyd Rose licensed tremolo. These come with Floyd Rose licensed tremolos if you want them. And of course the ones with the pick guards and the 2 single coils, and then a humbucker, or a humbucker, a single coil, and with and without whammies, all that. And then the last 2 versions, they actually kind of crossed over, and some headstocks actually said Showmaster instead of Stagemaster, and then Kramer got all up in arms, even though it was, God, owned by Gibson at the point. But, you know, it's still a trademark as a trademark, so they made them get rid of the Showmaster thing by 2004. So, anyway, this one was only a 1-year thing, 2000. So version 1 was 2000, I'm sorry, version 1 came out in 99, this one came out in 2000, then there was a 2001 and a 2002, and then by 2004 all of them were gone. But what an amazing guitars, and you can always pick these up, always, 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 for 150, 200 bucks, and they just kick royal butt. So why pay more for one? I have no flipping idea why anybody would. So the only thing that I would do any different with this would possibly just be put in another pickup for me to get a couple more sounds. But here's the bridge pickup now that it's single coil. Both pickups on. I mean, you can tell, holy crap, that's... Okay, and the neck, finally, that was just so dark sounding and horrid. Put it on. So now I am in Johnny Cash land. Is that okay? Okay, so I am beautiful. Now all I have to do is just simply turn on my compressor, which takes Scotty into happy land, put both pickups on, and just have a good old time with my 7-string country guitar now. Okay, so no more metal stuff going on here. Gotta love that, or I do. How's it going to sound now though with distortion? I don't know. Let's turn both pickups on. Because I like to actually, I don't ever use the bridge pickup on single coil guitars when I'm using distortion. I always go to the 2 position. Same with the Telecaster, I just leave it in the middle. That's just me. Okay, so here's both pickups with my same old distortion that was on. Let's see. Oh, let me turn off the compressor for you guys so there's no effects other than just straight distortion. The bridge. So there you go. Once again, Scott Grove. GroovyMusicLessons.com. Dr. Groovy here with the illustrious, cheapest 7-string that you should be able to get. And I personally, again, this is me personally, everybody always says, I always say things are a certain way and there are no other way. No, I just personally, out of all the 7 strings I've ever tried, I was totally, as you can see by my original Stagemaster review I did on my old one, before I sold it, and then realized I just can't live without one because I really like recording with it. So this is the one and only 7-string I'm going to have, because after all of them and checking them all out and checking out all the stuff that's supposed to be great, this here's normal scale length, sounds great, got rid of the pole pieces, still looks great, nothing looks like it's been raped or anything. People are like, well, I can't get my pieces out, or mine can't come out. It's like you have to look for a guitar where they can come out on both coils or on both bobbins, and you know, think things out before you buy your guitar. How much stuff can I actually modify if I want to? Or do you want to buy a new pickup? These pickups are great. There's nothing wrong with these stock pickups. Everything is stock again on here except for the knobs and these strings. So I just took those things out, and now I have a great sounding country 7-string axe for recording or playing live or what have you. And it is purple, my favorite color, and it's beautiful. I would have loved for a maple fingerboard, but that's about it. But just because they feel better under my fingers. Other than that, quality, quality, quality. 14-year-old guitar, and nobody bought them way back when, but boy, you should be buying them now, because by all by all counts, these things should be going for, you know, $700-800 as far as I'm concerned. But if you can get them for this price, more power to you. Again, thanks for the guy who sold it to me, the other guy who told me about it, and I couldn't be happier. So you guys be groovy. I'm gonna pick around with this and lay down some tracks that I've been waiting to do for the day came. When the day came that I got another one of these. So again, you guys take care. And the Squier Stagemaster, amazing. And it says Stagemaster. Let me do this so it'll come in. Stagemaster 7, all that sparkle there. Yeah, they come in black, they come in all kinds of other colors, but again, there's 4 versions, and this is version 2. Yes, and if you want the Floyds, they have them. So just keep your eyes peeled. Take care, folks. Bye-bye.